My people, my Biafran people, how on a day today. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending for where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazenamdi Kano. May God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, His Excellency ESN Ekpa Simon Njoku, for the great and amazing job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you, we appreciate you, we love you, because in your hands Biafra is coming, in your hands Biafra is safe, and in your hands when Biafra comes, the people of Biafra will rejoice. My fellow Biafrans, today the theme of this in-depth analysis, according to the brief broadcast given by our Prime Minister, today's theme is the declaration and restoration of Biafra remains unchanged. The date for the declaration and restoration of Biafra remains unchanged. My fellow Biafrans, please permit me to sound very formal today, because you know whenever I'm speaking about our Prime Minister, whenever I am trying to break down the submission, the broadcast, the statement, the press release by our Prime Minister, I must sound very formal. I must be thorough, because of the love and respect I have for His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njoku. So today, for those who missed the amazing statement that was, submitted by our Prime Minister just last night, I am here to break it down. And I pray to God to give me the wisdom of King Solomon to be able to attempt to break down the amazing words of my Prime Minister, our Prime Minister. Because for me, it is two in one. For me, it is something that I feel so much in my heart. For me, it is something that really affects how I see my PM. Because as you know, I am a disciple of Simon Ekpa, and he's also my Prime Minister. So it's a two-in-one for me. As a disciple, I know there are some assignments that I must have all hands on deck on. There are some assignments I must make sure when I'm delivering those assignments, they are thorough. There are some assignments that when I embark upon them, I must make sure my research is it is deep enough. It is wide, and it covers all the topic. Also, as my Prime Minister, when he speaks, I feel that love, the joy, and utmost respect for my Prime Minister. So today I will attempt to analyze the great statement he made. And for those who missed it, it may be brief, but the meaning, the message in that statement made by our Prime Minister is something the whole world must listen to and understand. So at this point, if you're with me, I want you to sit back and relax and listen to the first phase of the statement. Then I'll come back and try and break it down word for word, line for line, sentence for sentence. If you're with me, let us go on this journey. Listen.
Welcome every one of you. It is the responsibility of the government to continue to provide security for our women and children so that they will not end up in IDP camps like other people all over Nigeria. It is the responsibility of this government to make sure we continue the delegitimization of the terrorist state within Biafra land. By doing this, we will make sure that those who come to kill us will receive enough water. And this water will continue as we will never fold our arms and our hands watching them kill us as they used to do. So as we go forward to prepare and make the way for the liberation of Biafra through democratic means, diplomatic means, and every other mechanism that is being put in place, we will make sure that we provide security for our vulnerable women and children. And that is the reason why this fundraising is very important. To make sure we provide the adequate mechanism that is being put in place, we will make sure that we provide security for our vulnerable women and children. And that is the reason why this fundraising is very important. To make sure we provide the adequate security that our people need. In the entire Nigeria, it is only in the Biafra territory that the terrorists are not abducting our children from the school. It is only in Biafra territory that our women and the entire village is not being sacked, and it can never ever happen so long as this Biafra government is still very alive and active. The declaration of Biafra restoration that is scheduled to happen this year on the 2nd of December is still unchanged, and we are not going to change our word a bit. So we'll continue to prepare the ground, level the ground for the restoration of independent state of Biafra. On this note, I want to appreciate every one of you Biafra people, and to make sure to also inform the Biafrans that most of the places where the terrorists has been very active, abducting and kidnapping our people, we have already deployed the Biafra Liberation Army and other Biafra forces to make sure they flush out the bandits that have come from Central African Republic, from northern Nigeria into our land. Our objective is to make sure they will never leave to kidnap our people and tell the story or collect ransom in our own land. Biafra government is the only legitimate government so far that is speaking for the entire 70 to 80 million Biafrans all over the world.
Thank you, my PM. I will hold it there for now. And you have heard the first stanza of the summation from our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Mazi Ekpa Simon Njoko. And for the Biafrans out there who wants to get an in-depth meaning, an in-depth understanding, a breakdown of what he said, I will take you in that journey right now. If you're with me, let us go. Listen.
To welcome every one of you. It is the responsibility of the government to continue to provide security for our women and children so that they will not end up in IDP camps like other people all over Nigeria.
It is the responsibility of the Biafra Republic government in exile. It is the responsibility of those in the cabinet, and it is the utmost responsibility of our Prime Minister, His Excellency Ekpa Simon Njoko, to continue with the provision of protection for our women and children, the most vulnerable in the land of Biafra, in a bid to make sure they don't end up in IDP camp. As you see what is happening in the land of Okuoma, what they choose to call Okoma, they've changed the Igbo pronunciation of that community, and they have made it to sound foreign. But we know our people. We know those who are with us. We know those who are part of Biafra. And to the people of Okuoma, we are saying that we are also coming to protect you. It is the duty of the Prime Minister. It is the duty of his government. And it is the duty of the cabinet to make sure all available resources are sent down to protect the people of Okoma. This is what our Prime Minister is trying to say here, even though it was brief. I'm trying to expound upon the wordings of our Prime Minister. You heard the military, what they said. They said they will not leave Okuoma. They said the people will remain in the bushes until they are done with Okuoma. The people will not come back to their community until they are done collecting arms or retrieving their arms from Okuoma. Despite this so-called general, Mr. Musa, as I like to call him, he's not a general. He claimed his men did not go into Okuoma with arms. He claimed his men, they knew the people around there. He claimed they went as a tactical unit that includes the police, the navy, the military, even the customs and the border control. But suddenly, when the so-called name of the dead people were counted, 17 of them were military. But he claimed when they went into Okoma, they went in as a tactical unit, not just the military. Because he was asked, how come the chief or the king that oversees Okoma and the other communities, he went to report himself in a police station? When he was found wanting, when his name was live on TV, when he saw himself in a mugshot along with 7 other people, when he was declared as a wanted man, through the counsel from his legal team, he presented himself to the Nigerian police. He went to the nearest police station close to him, which is something that should be done around the whole world. But suddenly, I keep saying this, I need you all to listen to me very well. When he got to that police station, to the Zoom media, because you are not allowed to go into Okoma, you are not allowed to report what is happening in that land. I will tell you exactly what happened to that king when he got to the police station. From first-hand information that got to my desk, I was told that when the king got to the police station, the police, they refused to take a statement from him. All they did was they took handcuffs. His legs and his arms were shackled with the manacles. Not just the normal handcuffs. Manacles means they have chained your legs, they have chained your arms, and he was bundled into a vehicle and sent to the military men in Okoma. When that question was posed to that military man on Arise News, he said, and I quote, "There is no need to take him to the police station because the men operating in Okoma, they are a tactical unit that comprises of the police, the navy, the army, and the rest of them." But suddenly, when they are counting the dead, it was only 17 soldiers. There was no mixture of 2 police officers, 5 soldiers, 3 navy officers that were shot. No, all the people that were killed, according to them, were 17 soldiers. That tells you that his argument has been flawed. That tells you that the men that went to Okoma, they were all military men. So our Prime Minister is saying now that it is clear there will be no justice for Okoma. The same way there was a blockade for food in the land of Biafra. This is now the 4th week. This is the 4th week. I will break it down for you all. This is now 28 days and counting that the people of Okoma, they are still remaining in the bushes. This is now 28 days and counting that the people of Okoma, they've been left without food. This is now 28 days and counting that the people of Okoma absconded from their community and their properties. This is now 20 days and counting that the military has taken over Okoma community. So what our Prime Minister is saying here is very deep when he said it is the duty of the Biafra government to protect the life and properties, men and women and the children in the land of Biafra, to make sure they don't end up in IDP camp as it is done all across that Zoo Republic called Nigeria. So again, I wish to re-echo the words of our Prime Minister. To the people of Okuoma, we are coming. We are coming. We are coming to rescue you. We shall not let go. We shall not abandon you. And we will never forsake you. For the other people living in Delta State, this is sidebar. You claim you are not a Biafran, or you claim you are not the Igbos. Can you see along or throughout that so-called Zoo Republic, the only stakeholders speaking for Okoma and taking action are the Biafrans? Those who openly claim they are Biafrans, we are the only ones coming out with our chest wide open, saying we are coming to rescue Okoma. Because as the saying goes, when the kite is up in the sky, only the mother hen will go all out to protect and safeguard her chicks. When the eagle is soaring, coming to snatch one of the chicks of the mother hen, it is the duty of that mother to do all what they can to protect her chicks. So right now, for the fact it is we the Biafrans again, we that they love to hate, we that they say we are the ones causing the problem in that zoo, we are still the ones coming out to speak. We are the ones showing action, not just speaking. We are showing action through our Prime Minister saying we are coming. Okoma, we are coming to safeguard you. The women, the children, the most vulnerable, we have vowed to the gods of Biafra that we shall never allow you to end up in the IDP camp. We know what they are after is the oil. We know the cabal, they sent those military on an assignment. We know what they are after is to protect the oil blocks, the oil well within Okuoma. We know that. And we are saying we are coming to protect you. To the zoo media, to the dirty gutter media of that zoo called Nigeria, to the God-forsaken media, where is your voice that a military is stopping the whole media in a country from accessing a crime scene, a so-called crime scene? Because to us, what they are doing in Okoma is a massacre and a genocide. But for the first time, your media, they have chosen not to fight for their so-called fundamental rights, the freedom of the press, the freedom of the media, to gain access and report the news to the people and to the whole world. For the first time, the media now, they're in cahoots with the military. They choose to keep quiet. It's now okay for the media not to have access to a so-called crime scene. It is now okay for a governor of a state not to have access to a community within his state. To the whole world, we keep on telling you, we are not one people. We and the so-called Nigerians, we cannot live together. Because it is only in Nigeria that you can see elephants fly. And so far, it is only our Prime Minister demonstrating with action, saying that we are coming to protect our people. As the good Lord said in the Bible, I know my sheep and they hear my voice. We know those who are Biafrans. We know Okoma belongs to us. And we are coming to protect the people of Okoma. Let's continue.
It is the responsibility of this government to make sure we continue the delegitimization of the terrorist state within Biafra land. By doing this, we'll make sure that those who come to kill us will receive enough water. And this water will continue, as we will never fold our arms and our hands watching them kill us as they used to do. So
that's self-explanatory. To those in the Western world who don't understand the slogan, the slang of the Biafrans, when you hear the word water, it means something more like a kamikaze. Killer be killed. When you hit me, I hit you back. You punch, I punch you back. You shoot me, I'm gonna shoot back. Gun for gun, bullet for bullet, an eye for an eye, a tooth for tooth, tat for tat, a life for a life, an arm for an arm. The days of being scared of the Zoo military, those days are gone. We are proud to tell you what we're gonna do, because this is what they are doing in our community as we speak. So whatever they give us, they will get back. Back to the sender, as they used to say back in the days. So they will get it. When they come to kill us, when they come to our community to destroy and pillage the land, we are saying they will catch the water. As the saying goes, sometimes when a man becomes overconfident of himself, then and then only they are wide open for a sucker punch. When a man becomes too overconfident of himself, then he's wide open for a sucker punch. He's wide open for surprises. That was what happened in the case of Okuoma. The military, because they took the first 3 men and they took the ghost, the soul out of them without any repercussions. So they assumed, they became more confident. They've got the guns, they've got the bullets. They went back to the community. And even though when they went back, the people, they welcomed them. They said they loved them. They gave them food. In the Biafran culture, when you offer somebody food, when you offer them hospitality, when you offer them cola, to us, the cola nut brings life. When a Biafran man offers you cola, that man respects you and loves you. He is giving you life in abundance. He is welcoming you to the community. But sadly, they became more confident, the military. They saw the kindness of the Biafrans for weakness. Same thing is happening. Same thing is happening all across the land of Biafra. Just to hit more on that point, they came to the community of Okoma. The people, they welcomed them. Despite they came some few days ago and they killed about 3 people in Okoma. But when they came back to Okoma, the people welcomed them. The military, with their guns and everything, their ammunitions, they came to the community. They were in a town hall meeting and they got the best of hospitality. But they became overconfident. Towards the end of them feasting, they demanded for all the leaders, all the elders to be assembled in that town hall meeting. And when the so-called leaders assembled at the front of the military men, they said they were going to arrest all of them and take them away. At that point, the youth said, please, these are our elders. We saw what you did some few days ago when 3 people were taken off and we saw their dead body in less than 24 hours. The 3 men you took from our community, we saw their lifeless body in the bushes. Please rethink this and reconsider this. Allow our elders to stay. We cannot, because we cannot guarantee the safety of our elders. At that point, the military, they became very confident. They opened fire on the people within that town hall meeting. And lots of people got the bullets. Lots of people fell down. Lots of people lost their life within that town hall meeting. And as the word stretched out, when men heard what these guys were doing in their town hall meeting, the rest was history. Like I said, when a man becomes overconfident of himself, then he's wide open for a sucker punch. The people came back and they came with firepowers that could match that of the military. Because you see, with the Zoo military, when they have the guns, they assume, they are now gods. They call us the bloody civilians. That's the language of the Nigerian Zoo military. They call the citizens who they are supposed to serve and protect, they call them the bloody civilians. Which means they have the license to kill at will. So when they caused the massacre in the town hall meeting, men had to come around and men met their bullets. Men were able to match their ammunition, gun for gun, bullet for bullet. And the rest was history. The rest was history. As the slogan goes, all die na die. All die na die. When you slap me, you don't tell me how to respond or retaliate. So please ignore the naysayers, what they are talking about, the nonsense. The account given by the military, that idiot, that fool called Musa, ignore that idiot, a non-entity. Ignore him. But I am also vexed with the media. Because when it has to do with the affairs of the Biafrans, suddenly the media is not fighting for their right to be independent and be free to carry out their job. Because when you choose to be a journalist, you have sworn an oath to break out the news, release the news the way things are, to be upright, just, and fair. But you've not done that in this case. You have gone with the, with the narrative of the Nigerian military. In a crime scene, in a place where there is genocide, only the military is allowed to give an account. And you all expect me and my people to be in a country, to live in a country, to claim a country where there is no rule of law? You must be mad. To the so-called stakeholders in that zoo, you all must be mad. I said it. It is Biafra or death, Biafra or nothing else. We have crossed the Rubicon. There is no more going back. We have crossed that Rubicon. It is Biafra or nothing else. And there will be no room to negotiate. There will be no room to discuss anything anymore. The room for discussion and dialoguing is gone. That opportunity is long gone. Let heaven fall down. Let God come down. Let the devil do the worst they can. We are saying it is Biafra or nothing else. Nobody can stop this movement. And by the 2nd of December, once Biafra is declared, the whole world will see what will happen. I won't go more than that. you will see the same way in Okuoma, the same way the people were able to match the firepowers of the military. And 16 of your coward men went down. Cowards, I call them. That same way when Biafra is declared, that slogan, all die in a die, will be brought back to life. All die in a die. The days of being scared of bullets, those days are gone. The days of being scared of your dirty, criminal, rogue military, those days are gone. All die in a die. Let's continue. I'm really, really vexed. Permit me, my PM, I'm in the spirit. Permit me, my Prime Minister, I'm in the spirit. Let's continue.
As we go forward to prepare and make the way for the liberation of Biafra through democratic means, diplomatic means, and every other mechanism that is being put in place, we will make sure that we provide security for our vulnerable women and children.
Amen to that. Amen to that. That's been the mantra. That has been our mantra. By any means necessary, as the great Malcolm X said, we must actualize this Biafra by any means. Diplomatic, whatever you want to call it, we are open for business. But the days of dialoguing with that zoo is gone. That's all I'm saying. The days of dialoguing with that zoo is gone. There will be no discussion whatsoever with the Zoo Republic. That aspect is closed and sealed. But to the whole world, we are open to have that discussion on how best we can go towards actualizing Biafra.
That is the reason why this fundraising is very important. To make sure we provide the adequate security that our people need. In the entire Nigeria, it is only in the Biafra territory that the terrorists are not abducting our children in the school, from the school. It is only in Biafra territory that our women and the entire village is not being sacked, and it can never ever happen so long as this Biafra government is still very alive and active. The declaration of Biafra restoration that is scheduled to happen this year on the 2nd of December is still unchanged. And we are not going to change our word a bit. So we'll continue to prepare the ground, level the ground for the restoration of independent state of Biafra. On this note, I want to appreciate every one of you Biafra people, and to make sure to also inform the Biafrans that most of the places where the terrorists has been very active, abducting and kidnapping our people, we have already deployed the Biafra Liberation Army and other Biafra forces to make sure they flush out the bandits that have come from Central African Republic, from northern Nigeria into our land. Our objective is to make sure they will never leave to kidnap our people and tell the story or collect ransom in our own land. Biafra government is the only legitimate government so far that is speaking for the entire 70 to 80 million Biafrans all over the world.
God bless you, my Prime Minister. I appreciate the words. I feel, this is the time. The time is now. You've heard it from our Prime Minister. Please continue to support. Biafrans around the whole world, we say keep on supporting the movement. It is because of you that we are able to secure the land. It is through your support, your help, that we are able to fend off these criminals, these killers, these bandits, the terrorists, those who have come to steal your resources, those who have come to steal your land, those who have come to pillage, kill the people, those who have come to turn the land of Biafra into an IDP camp. It is through your donations, your spiritual, your moral support that we are able to do this. We are saying never again are we going to fold our hands and watch our land being taken over. Never again. Those days are gone. And also, I want to warn out there our neighbors and those who are confused about being called or being identified as the Biafrans. I want to give you this advice, because if you keep on allowing the zoo government to come to your land and test the soil, to exploit, not even explore, they come to exploit your soil, your land, in search of resources, you are bringing hell to your community. Because the day they find a resource in your land, what is happening in Okoma will automatically start happening in your community. Because in that zoo called Nigeria, according to the government, according to the Fulani Caliphate that Britain told they were born to rule, because this problem, when you go deeper, you will see it started all the way from the days of Mungo Park. In the 1700s or so, when Mungo Park said he has discovered River Niger and all those stuff, where they linked, it started from there. He was an explorer. He came around that area in search of River Niger and River Benue. When he found it, he went back to the Queen. He went back to Britain and told them, I have found a source. Because during those days, it is where you find river, it is where you find water that is always the best, place to pitch your tent and exploit those people. Because through the river, you can now have your boats. And from the boats, you will now steal the resources, put them in a boat and sail into the Atlantic Ocean, then find your way into Britain. That was the deal they were doing back then. So they were always in search. They were always in search for resources. Back then, the foundation was water. Even in Egypt, if you study your Kemetic history, you must know your history. The River Nile was something, the moment they found that river, civilization started around that location. From hydro energy, from farming and the rest of them, it started from there. But in the case of Mungo Park, he was the first to come to explore River Niger and the rest of them, to find out where is this connection, where is this linkage that went into the Congo basin, where is this linkage? And when he found out, he went back to Britain, and before you knew it, there was mayhem. And the cabal, the zoo, the Fulani cabal, they have learnt the blueprint of Britain, because Britain gave them the blueprint. Britain told them they were born to rule. So once they come to explore, they come as gentlemen to explore, to test the land, to test the resource. When they find the resource they need, they will now check in terms of the amount in quantity. Once it is sufficient enough, then your land, your resources, your people, your community, you can kiss them goodbye. You can wave them goodbye. That will become the time where you start seeing hell being rained upon your people. The same way as is happening now in Okuoma, in the so-called Niger Delta. You see the name again, Niger Delta, River Niger, Nigeria, Niger. Can you see it? Negro, the land of the Negro, the land of the black, River Niger. They called you Niger Delta for a reason, and you went with that name. What is Niger in your language? Those from that area, what is the meaning of Niger in your language? What is the meaning of Delta in your language? These are questions you should be asking yourself. Do not allow your slave master to name you, because whatever they call you is coded. When they call you a name, you become more like, a slave to those people. They called you Nigeria. They called you Niger Delta. They called you South. They called you Southwest. And you went with it. This is the problem I have with that zoo. Because you are so scared. You are so scared of the caliphate. You allow them to be your father. You allow them to become your God. That's the problem I have with them. You must learn to understand the meaning. When they called you Niger Delta, we know about Niger, but let us break down that word. Delta, the meaning of Delta. It's a noun. The flat, low-lying plain that sometimes forms at the mouth of a river from deposits of sediments. You see it? So when they call you Niger Delta, they know why they put Delta there, Delta State. Delta means the flat, low-lying plain that sometimes forms at the mouth of a river from deposits of sediments. It's all about your resources. They named you based on your resources. And sadly, it is only the zoo that have refused to change their name. When Ghana was named based on their resources, Ghana was known as Gold Coast. Ghana was called Gold Coast. And Ghana, when they got their census, they changed their name from from Gold Coast to Ghana. Even Cote d'Ivoire was known as what? Ivory Coast. The coast for the ivory, the elephant talks. And when they got themselves, when they became a people, when they became a nation, they said, no, we shall do away with the names of the white man. And from Ivory Coast, they called themselves Cote d'Ivoire. But only Nigeria, because you are not one people, you still have the problem, the sickness of tribalism. You have the cancer of nepotism. You have the politics of red tapeism. Red tape. Red tapeism means from red tape. You are putting blockade, you are putting barricade, you are putting stumbling blocks from people to excel. The Igbos will not excel. The Biafrans can never have a seaport. You are putting stumbling blocks around us. Because Britain, your slave master, told you your number one assignment is to subjugate the people of Biafra because they own the resources. So my Prime Minister is saying here that please keep on supporting. Your donations, our donations matters. And with your help, your support, your love, your prayers, we are able to protect, or we shall continue to protect the land and the integrity of Biafra. My fellow Biafrans, lend me your ears. I am not here just to praise the Prime Minister. No. I am here to speak truth to power. I'm here to give account of the good jobs of the Prime Minister, the Cabinet of the Biafra Republic government in exile. And from this in-depth analysis, I hope I've been able to convince you, not to confuse you, to know that those who are working with Simon Ekpa, those who believe in the leadership of Simon Ekpa, we are on the right path. And when I say that in the hands of Simon Ekpa, Biafra is coming, in the hands of Simon Ekpa, Biafra is safe. And in the hands of Simon Ekpa, when Biafra comes, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When I said that, somebody just yesterday wrote to me and said, no, it is in the hands of God that you have the Biafra in the hands of God. It's in the hand of God that Biafra will be safe. It's in the hand of God that Biafra is coming. And I looked at her. I didn't respond back to her. Because most of them, they lack the wisdom of King Solomon. In your Bible, you said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. If a God is speaking, let us. Gods, they were in a cipher. They were discussing in a round circle, in a round table. They were discussing and they said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. It means you have the image of God and you look like God. How else can I break it down? Gods, they made man. Man made mankind. Mankind, these are the people that look like a kind of a man. Mankind means a kind of a man. We are the men, the people that God made. We are smaller gods. We are children of God. And as the Father, so is the Son. But unfortunately, in that Zoo Republic, they have allowed mankind to name them. They have allowed mankind to tell them they were born to rule. They have allowed mankind to ask them to subjugate the children of God. We are the Biafrans. We are gods. We are children of the rising sun. As I wrap this one up, I said, all eyes on the rising sun. Biafra is coming. And when Biafra comes, we shall rejoice in the sun, because we are children of the sun. Thank you, Lord. From me, from here, for now, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I remain yours truly, Biafra, Superstars Media. God bless you.
Biafra, anozim na Biafra ugbu Simon Ekpa Njoko. Mundozo gas na sopurugi. Hey! Welcome more! Ejidajiri henile! Welcome more! Kamwagi! Eminem retire 2014. But Agamarugi Dara Biafra! We are in Biafra. And you know na Biafra.
Yes.
Ndị niile gị na ha na-arụ ọrụ, ndị niile nọ na-eme ihe niile na kemgbe, agara m rehapụtala kemgbe kama ahụ adịghị nne m. Mụ na nne m anọgide na California ma eburu ya n'ụlọ ya gawa gakwuru okike ya ma lọghachi n'afọ a. Oke mmadụ enwe m okwu achọkwanụ m kama achọ m ka ị mara na ịbụ Chineke. You are God. You are. Do you understand that? You are God. And the other gods you work with. I don't expect anything in life. I deal with whatever I see as I see it.
Yes.
I didn't think. I didn't put it into perspective, into any type of perspective. Seeing today.
Yes.
And that I'm seeing today, I'm experiencing today. Ozuorum, I am content.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, my Prime Minister, there is no name under the earth that fits you. There is no name. Chineke Brakwala no wede ho. Njoko. Onye pana na ga close to Njoko ya fokwi bitu yaka. Njoko.
Thank you. So I continue from there and